energy that it would take for you to manifest $1 million and the amount of energy that it would take for me to manifest $1 million, it's different energy because there's a lot of other stuff behind the scenes that's going to be different. But I can just say that there's however much energy it takes for you to manifest whatever it is that you want is how much it takes. And it's going to be different for different things. So if there's something that you want to manifest that requires a certain amount of energy, then you need that much energy. And if you have anything less than that, you're not going to be able to successfully manifest it. So if your energy is being diverted away from whatever it is that you want so that you cannot sufficiently give enough energy to it to fully manifest it, then there you go. You're not going to succeed until you can change whatever it is that needs to be changed so that you can give enough energy to it. So here's the connection then with love, is that love is so important. And if you are having inefficient, unhelpful working definitions of love, then your energy is being siphoned off. Because we're all involved in exchanges in our lives every single day that somehow involve love, even if you think that's not true. So now let's look at a couple of scenarios so that this might be clearer to you. Okay, so we'll start with noticing. Okay, so notice that life is giving or happening unconditionally. Now, however, I know different people have different ways that they prefer to think about this. So if you like to think about this in terms of God, then you can think about it in terms of God, that God is giving unconditionally. If you prefer to think of it as the universe, you can think of it as the universe is giving or expressing unconditionally or flowing unconditionally. Whatever word idea you prefer, you can utilize that here. But just notice that its nature is unconditional. Like the air is here. It's not conditional. It's not, if you are pleasing to me, then I'll give you air. Or, if you behave the way that I want you to behave, then you can have air. Or, only when you know your ABCs will you be allowed to have air. And just consider how incredibly unconditionally generous life is. There's air and light and unconditional life. Now, I understand that sometimes our minds object to this. We say, but wait a second, what about this and what about that? What about that time when I didn't seem to have this thing or that thing? Or what about those people who don't have those things? Or what about people who die? So we can certainly go looking for trying to find exceptions. But actually, if you just open to it, instead of looking for exceptions, what if you just were willing to just for a little bit, what if you were just willing to open to this possibility and just play with it, just explore it? That life is giving unconditionally. All the things that are happening, all the electrons spinning and all of the stars and everything, from the biggest to the smallest, everything, all of it is unconditional. It doesn't say only for the select few. Now, the nature of this life is that there's movement, so there's polarity. So sometimes it's day and sometimes it's night. So it's not that, day is always given. Sometimes it's day and sometimes it's night. Sometimes it's youth and sometimes it's old age. So there is this movement, but it's not conditional. One problem then that can happen is that we can project our conditional view of love onto God or the universe or life. And by doing that, and a lot of times this is somewhat subtle, we don't necessarily acknowledge this consciously, but nonetheless, just check it out and you might see that it's going on. So then we imagine that God or the universe or life is conditional. And then we become fearful. What if I've displeased God? I know some people will say, "Oh, this doesn't apply to me. I'm very evolved. I'm nothing like that." That would only be for very unevolved people. I'm nothing like that. That's so bizarre. I can't believe anybody would really do that. But just check it out. You might be surprised to find that some of that is going on for you. Because the thing is that we all grew up in this cultural environment in which that's the norm. We were taught and conditioned to expect conditionality. And so naturally, we will tend to project that onto God or life or the universe. And that is going to create all kinds of interference. So it's really a very useful thing to notice. Just maybe you could just notice right now, just feel into that. Is there any sense whatsoever that God or life or the universe is in any way conditional in regard to you? Like, might you get on the wrong side of God? Might you be displeasing to God? Does God play favorites? And if there's any bit of that, then it might be playing a significant role, much more significant than you thought, in terms of your overall experience, your sense of ease, and certainly your ability to consistently direct your attention at what you want or toward what you want.